This is Lesson 10, the cylinder. We've drawn a cube, we've drawn a sphere, and now we're going to use a third three-dimensional form. This is the cylinder, like a can. We're going to start with two guide dots, one on the left and one on the right, and that's going to help us draw our foreshortened circle, which is just an arch and a U shape to create that tilted circle, a side that is near and a side that is far. Now we're going to draw two vertical parallel lines, one on the left side, one on the right side. Make them the same length. And we can connect these two with a U shape, matching that U shape we started with. With a little bit of value, that would be a cylinder, or create the illusion of a cylinder. But we're going to make three cylinders that overlap. So this will be our front cylinder, and we're going to create a second now. Go up and a little to the left of the center of your first foreshortened circle, and give yourself a guide dot there and another to the left. Now this is going to be our second foreshortened circle, and at that we will make vertical lines that are parallel, but this line is going to stop when it starts to tuck behind the first cylinder. This left side I'll go down, but not all the way, because we know with placement we need to be up the page a little bit to create the illusion of space. Now I'm going to make a curve line here, but it's not to connect down here at this point. So we're going to push this up a little bit. So my foreshortened circle will come from this point and hit that straight line next to this front cylinder. I'm going to do the same thing on the right side, making a guide dot that is directly above my first ellipse, and now I'll come over to the right side and do another dot to create my third cylinder. Again, this straight vertical line is going to intersect here and tuck behind my front cylinder. And my right side here is going to go straight down, parallel with the edge of the paper, helps me to stay vertical. And I made that guide dot, so I'm going to make a guide dot here, and this ellipse shape is going to stop and tuck behind. And just like that, I have three foreshortened cylinders. And now it's time to think about a horizon line that probably passes above the top of these three, and a light source that shines down upon my cylinders. That means that these are going to be dark on the far side and lighter toward the light source. The tops, we can leave those white, the white of the paper, but the sides of each cylinder are going to be darkest on the left because my light source is on the right, and it's going to get gradually lighter as it comes toward the light. You could use your finger to do some of that nice blending, and the dark spot here, that nook and cranny shadow, helps to separate the forward shape from the back shape. I can do this also on my left hand side, concentrating on making nice even shading with my pencil. I'm using it loosely, but I'm trying to stay close to my line here. Why not make a nice neat drawing if I know how? So back here I'm going to give just an extra little bit of nook and cranny shadow right here. But my cylinder should be darkest away from the light and gradually lighter as it comes toward the light. Now I'm shading my frontmost cylinder here. And I'm careful around the edge of my shape here to make a nice even shading that doesn't come up on the lid of my can here. Now I've done the basics of the shading here, and already I think we've got a convincing illusion of three-dimensional space. I'm darkening up the lines I want to keep. Remember that blue pencil, or that blue marker I was using, just represents a light sketch. Now I can darken in the shapes that I want to keep. And refining any lines that I don't like. If I made a mistake with my light sketch, I could just go back over darker. I'm not using an eraser at all. And now we need the last part, which is a cast shadow on the ground opposite the light source. So down here, moving away from my sun, there's a shadow on the ground. And also here we would have one. And on the third shape also. This can come right off the paper for the way that I've drawn it. This shape is so close to the edge of the paper that my cast shadow can go right off the edge. All right, this has been Lesson 10, Drawing the Cylinder.